Las Vegas, the scene of one last showdown. The powers of the Mountain West, the relentless defense of San Diego State, the avalanche of offense of New Mexico. Two powers, one more chapter. One is on to the Mountain West Championship. Presented by Kubota. Our second semifinal is set in the Mountain West. It's the 2 and the 3, San Diego State, New Mexico, one last time. We know that Utah State is on. Convincing clobbering of Nevada. The regular season champs await the victor of this game, which has significant consequence. These are both among the first 4 out per CBS Sports bracketology. This is a de facto elimination game. Win, you have a chance. Lose, and you're almost assuredly done. Welcome down to the floor alongside the former Gonzaga All-American and Dan Dickow. I'm John Sadak. Evan Washburn is with us in just a little bit. When you look at the history of the Mountain West, the best rivalry is likely taking place on this floor. Not only does it have extreme intensity, but it has that significant impact of their reality to play playoff basketball.
There's a ton of tradition in this rivalry, but I don't know if there's ever been a more important game with everything on the line. You lose, you're not gonna make the NCAA tournament. You win, you live to play another day and earn your way in.
In terms of San Diego State, we know their identity. They do it with defense.
They have always done it with defense. Brian Dutcher, before him, Steve Fisher, everything was built on the defensive end of the floor. They've become not just one of the best in the Mountain West, but the entire country with their defensive intensity, their focus, their execution. They will switch 1 through 5. They will pressure the ball. They'll be in the gaps. They'll make every shot be contested over a hand. New Mexico has got to handle the pressure, get good shots.
But what a defensive duo to blow it up. Thomas LaBouillon, Jake Hall.
A fabulous freshman tandem inside and out. Bouillon, 15 double-doubles on the year, and Jake Hall might be the best shooter in the country you've never heard at. Over 45% from the three-point line on the year on a ton of volume.
It's one last duel in the desert. The last 7 times these teams have met in the Mountain West Tournament, the victor has taken it all. The lights out, the spotlight on. San Diego State, New Mexico for the right to face the one Utah State in the championship. It's year 1 for Eric Golden, who spent some time at UC San Diego, gave Michigan a scare in the big dance last year. Can he get the Lobos to the championship of the Mountain West in his first campaign? Let's take a look at our Kubota starting lineup. Sean Newman getting a nod. Impact point guard from Louisiana Tech, playing some of his better basketball, getting that chance of late. Luke Haupt had a huge 3 in the victory for New Mexico as these teams split on the regular season. A longtime fixture for San Diego State. Part of the show, Brian Dutcher, 27 years on the sidelines, 9 as the head coach. He has led the Aztecs to the Mountain West title game in 7 of his first 8 years as a head coach. But one of the most impactful players in this game today will have a very different look indoors. For more, let's go to Evan Washburn.
Yeah, John, Dayton Albury 2 weeks ago when these two teams last met suffered a scratch, a pretty severe one, to his left cornea. It created a sensitivity to light. So to play, he had to wear tinted glasses. So thanks to his athletic trainer, Rob Riverin, he found the coolest shades one could wear when playing basketball, and it's led to some internet fame and some great nicknames. I talked to Dayton about it earlier today, and his favorite, Lobo-Cop, obviously in reference to the 80s movie character RoboCop. But the best part, fellas, is that since wearing the glasses, his game has improved. He's shooting nearly 70% the last 3 games. So even when he's healed, I'm convinced he's going to rock them as long as the Lobos are playing.
I love it. His name is Albury. Well, the Lobo Cop is loud and in charge. There's a lot of New Mexico gear in these stands. The flags are flying everywhere. It's hard to discern the difference in the red, but there are a lot of signs that say Lobos or New Mexico.
Crowd went crazy with both teams came out of the tunnel, but in particular, those yellow New Mexico flags came waving.
Both regular season matchups claimed by the home team, now on a neutral floor and a de facto elimination game. Bird, a little short, Albury rips it down. Here come the Lobos, who can put the ball in the bucket. Second to Utah State in the Mountain West in scoring.
They do a tremendous job spacing you out. They've got an inside threat with Bullion and Hall, one of the best shooters in the country.
Albury double. Hop into the paint, holding that pivot. Tick taken away. Hello, Newman.
Newman gets the start with LZ Harrington out with a foot injury. Not much of a scorer, but last year third in the country in assists per game at Louisiana Tech.
Bullion draws a foul. He's an impactful big who has massive numbers, one of the best rebounders in the country.
Only a freshman, although 23 years old, wouldn't allude to the fact that he is a freshman. Another look at that great finish under duress from Newman.
Found Heidi his first. Baseline trigger. Forced to Bullion, taken away. Newman again. Bird, reverse.
You can't let San Diego State get out in transition. That's when they're at their best. Force turnovers, get out, and get opportunities at the rim.
Uriah Tenet, his second straight start, the second of his career. Bullion leaves for Hall, deadly shooter, quick trigger. Oh. Bird gets taller, chin and spin. Bird wears 21, he dropped 21 in the Aztecs' home victory. But he quickly pointed out after the game when asked about his scoring, it came from defense. Newman up fake. He'll go to the line.
Bird, the defensive player of the year in the Mountain West, is extremely active defensively. He's at his best when he creates havoc on that end and then gets out in transition. The lefty with the finish on the other side of the rim.
Sean Newman at the stripe, 90% at the line. He dropped 9 against Colorado State. And they just smothered the Rams, particularly from 2.
Their defense was exceptional last night. Forced the Rams into 33% from the field. Over the last 6 years or so, they have been top 25 in KenPom efficiency on defensive analytics. That hasn't changed this year, although they're a much better offensive team than they have been in years past.
6-love at the start. They held Colorado State to 6 twos last night, but the Lobos shoot and make a ton of threes. Hall taken away by Bird, and he slapped out and fouled by a frustrated Hall. Not his first. Not
the start Eric Olin wanted. 3 turnovers in their first 4 possessions. Jake Hall not able to find an angle to create by Reese Dixon Waters. But if you take a look at that, Miles Bird heavy in the gap, so if there's any type of fumble mistake with the ball, he's right there to pick up the steal.
The Aztecs had big leads in each of the 2 regular season meetings. Newman floats it up, rattles away. New Mexico rallied from down 15, took the lead, but lost in the first matchup. Rallied from down 11 to win in the second matchup. Wrap to Hall. Albury steps into it.
You're right, he might need to keep those glasses on. As you guys alluded to, 70% from the field since he got poked in the eye. Lobo Cop is here to play.
Newman into the front court. San Diego State, a long-time force in the Mountain West. 3-ball, little short there for Dixon Waters. Heidi trying to chin and spin, a tie-up for a jump. It'll be Lobo ball.
Dribble penetration creates opportunities. Albury kicks, then spaces. Hop attacks the closeout, finds Albury your spacing, knock down 3.
Here come the Lobos, making their 3rd straight appearance in the Mountain West semis. No Mountain West team has won more Mountain West championships, regular season and conference tournament, than San Diego State with 16. Bouillon, great pause, and 1.
You're exactly right. That pause got to the scoring spot. Little lift fake, gets the defense out of position, finish through the contact at the line to finish off a 3-point play. Such a difficult cover. Freshman from Split, Croatia. He can score inside. You take him outside, he's able to find angles and use that physicality.
Foul to Bird, his first, and 1 is good. Eric Olin talked about it with us at shoot-around today. He said to have success against San Diego State, you must play complementary basketball. What does he mean by that?
Well, it means read and react. San Diego State is so good that it's going to be difficult to score in set offense. You're going to have to read and react and make basketball plays.
Tay Simmons offensive. That'll be his first. He got the nod because his head coach, Brian Dutcher, said he helps them rebound, gives them some physicality.
You rebound, you're going to be able to play for nearly any coach in America. If you move your feet defensively and take your charges like that, you're going to have tons of opportunities to get minutes.
The rubber match of the year. The last collision is conference compatriot. Bouillon double comes late. He misses the body, tipped and ripped down. Bird.
Bouillon misses it, but you see the activity from the weak side with San Diego State. They are always swarming to the basketball. Very rarely do you get a clean look.
Bird on the cut, tipped by Bouillon, saved by Albury. Antonio Chol ready to sub. Given the 3, take and miss by Tenet. And it clangs to the Aztec bench. So Chol's going to sub in. One of the shocking moments of this tournament came when Antonio Chol came off the bench. And that was a move that he brought to his head coach independently. He asked to come off the bench.
You got to love the selflessness of a teammate when they understand they've been struggling as of late and feels as if someone's going to give them a better spark in that starting lineup. That said, he's a tremendous 3-point shooter. San Diego State can't lose him.
Could he be due? 16 total points in his last 5 games. Hall stepping back. Contested 3, and the twine barely budges.
He does not need a lot of space. He's got a high, quick release. And Eric Olin has given him a ton of freedom for a freshman.
9-0 run by the Lobos to claim the lead. Newman, kick corner. Simmons floats it up over Bouillon. Snaps the 9-0 surge. First points in nearly 3 minutes for the Aztecs. Hall shovels, up fake, stride aside. Hall! Little flat and short. Newman surging down the heart of the floor. Banker.
Those are ones you cannot allow if you're New Mexico. Newman Jr. sprints the ball down the floor just because of the pace he plays with. He created an opportunity because defense wasn't set.
Tenet fouled by Newman. We're seeing balance, Dan.
What a pace to the start of this game. It's been back and forth. Jake Hall, the freshman, don't let him get it going, or you'll see plenty of that. Sean Newman Jr. on the other end. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota, your compact equipment provider. By AT&T, connecting changes everything. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
The bright lights in Vegas, a 1-point game, 8 in the paint for San Diego State. Their star, Miles Bird, the subject of tonight's Reese's Player Profile, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West.
They give him so much freedom on the defensive end of the floor because he's got great instincts. He's got the athleticism, but instinctually, he can get to a passing lane. He can contest a shot. If he's out of position, he can recover. He has been phenomenal on that end of the floor.
Foul to Newman, his first before the break. Let's go to Evan.
Yeah, we had a fun conversation with Miles this morning about how he, quote-unquote, gambles in game. He said at times it does get him in trouble, but he liked to think of it more as how he baits guys into making mistakes. He reads an offensive player's eyes. He's really like a free safety out on the court. And he did play a little football, but he's been all hoops, obviously, for a while. But I liked how he described it as baiting more so than gambling.
I like that DB mentality. Slew of subs, including Magoon-Block coming in, who had been playing with a sleeve on his long injured knee until this tournament. And contact up top on Tenet. He fouls another entrant, the Aztecs' best on-ball defender, B.J. Davis Jr.
You know, to stay on the topic of Miles Bird, you got to give Brian Dutcher and his staff a ton of credit for recognizing the instincts that he plays with and giving him that freedom to go out and make plays. A lot of coaches aren't going to allow you to do that.
Taj DeGorville, tip ball to Dixon Waters. And that said, while these Aztecs are long known for defense, that one a little short, pinballs out. Off the fake, Davis hoists and misses. Block briefly had it. Save, tip ball, Aztec ball. Moved the timer. It had gone to 30, should have gone to 20, and Block gets in. This is the best offensive team for the Aztecs under Brian Dutcher as a head coach, and maybe in the Mountain West era.
It really well could be, and a lot of it is because of the balance that this roster has. They've only got 3 guys that average in double figures on the year, but they've got a number of them that you have to game plan and prep for. They don't have that one main scorer like they have had in the past in Jaden Ledee or Malachi Flynn, but they've got a lot of good pieces that can attack you in different ways.
Foul to Chol, his first. So Guap hits. These are the numbers. The best scoring offense the Aztecs have had since 84-85. That was pre-RoboCop.
Pre-RoboCop. I love it, but in regards to their attack offensively, he gives you, Coach Dutcher gives you a lot of freedom to play in transition. After that, they play out of a lot of ball screens, dribble handoffs up top with occasional duck-ins for posts.
Here comes Hop. Night vision on. Chol against Guap. Isolated. Touch pass corner. 7 to shoot. Hall has in the gym range. Hall, high kiss miss. On his back, he passes out to Chol. Shot clock violation.
That's the San Diego State defense that we alluded to in the open. 5 guys connected, will switch when necessary, always in the gap, swarming.
11-11.
And now with Guath in the game, it adds the shot blocking presence on the interior. His numbers in that area aren't what they were a season ago as a freshman, but a lot of it is due to the fact that he's been limited with injuries.
Dixon Waters snaps it off and a foul off ball offensive. Is that going to be Heidi? That's going to be a second foul. They already had Farrell Compton at the table.
Take a look at the right side of your screen. Good call from the official there. Heidi not quite set on the first screen, ends up getting called on the second one.
He was highly impactful late game situation in the San Diego State win when New Mexico chose to foul him up 2 with a minute to go. Chol off the fake, drives to the rim, rejected! Fresh off the bench. And a tip ball out of bounds, it's Lobo ball.
San Diego State has depth, but one thing is if you're going to crack that rotation, you have to bring it on the defensive end of the floor the second you step in. Farrell Compton does just that.
He's 6'7", but his wingspan is 7'3". Fighting through the double, a misfire for JT Rock. And these teams are fighting for loose balls. Lobo possession again.
Rock not able to finish on the interior. Loose ball ends up being knocked off of B.J. Davis. Have to be aware of the inbounder, Jake Hall here. So many offensive sets out of the baseline, out of bounds are set up for a shooter.
Ball flips to Miller, to James Miller, up high. No. And tipped out of bounds by San Diego State. This is a long possession with a lot of bats out of play.
With a lot of long threes come long opportunity rebounds. San Diego State's got to make sure they shore up the boards.
This is happening with Bouillon on the bench. Miller to Chol, block contested. Albury. Chol saves it. Chol trying to up and under. Fall away. Rattles loose. And a whistle. That's going to go on Rock.
If it is on Rock, that's not particularly a smart foul. You've got to understand rebound that you can get to or not. It looks like the officials may be talking it over, confirming exactly who it is on.
And Kevin Brill twirled his index finger. Wanted to talk it over.
Almost looks like it could be called a hook and hold. Lead official Nate Harris walking over to take a look at it.
And we get confirmation.
The call on the floor is a common foul on San Diego State, number 24. The play is under further review for a potential flagrant foul.
So on Taj DeGorville. There was a hook and hold between this duo the last time these teams met up.
Well, DeGorville undersized against a lot of 4s and 5s in this league, but what he gives up in size, he doesn't lack in aggressiveness. In particular, that box out against the much bigger JT Rock.
A long-time point of emphasis. Yeah, there was a while where there was a subtlety or a nuance. It was hard to notice, but the NCAA has cracked down on this for a pretty long time.
They have, you're right. A couple years back, they really made it a point of emphasis. It was one of those plays where players that had the craftiness to them thought that maybe an official was in a position they couldn't see. They would hold an arm or wrist or maybe sometimes around a hip, not allowing a player to get to where they want. Take a look at the circled and highlighted area.
And part of it just trying to ensure player safety. You can see how prone and vulnerable he is there.
It could almost go on both players, to be honest with you. I think DeGorville starts it, but then JT Rock wraps him up a little bit as well.
You can see DeGorville pointing to him, insisting that he was victim more than perpetrator.
Yeah, that said, I don't think many players are going to admit to anything to get him a foul.
It'll just be a common foul.
After review, the call on the floor of a common foul on white number 24 has been confirmed. It's going to be New Mexico ball on the baseline with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
You agree?
I think that's a tremendous piece of officiating. There's no need to add anything else to that.
Offensive rebounds, Lobo 6-2. 4 have come on this long possession. In the Lobo win, Bouillon alone had 9 offensive rebounds, more than the Aztecs did as a team in that game. Albury able to finish. There was contact there.
There was contact, and that is a 6'2 guard going up against the size and length of San Diego State's interior.
Well, the Bad News Bears would be proud. They are letting the play. It has been physical at the start here. A storied rivalry coming to a conference close. Dixon Waters foul. Now some jaggedness arriving in this game.
Another look at that finish from Dayton Albury. If you are a guard attacking a bigger player at the rim, go into their chest. Takes away the advantage of the length that they have.
That's his second foul.
You're going to have to keep an eye on that. Both teams do have great depth.
And it looks like there's confusion over who the foul should be on. could just see the mouth of, I want to make sure I got the right guy, because there was no sub. It looks like Eric Olin doesn't believe it's on Albury.
Well, the stat sheet in front of us that updates after every possession says this 2 fouls on Albury.
And Albury seemed uncertain as the raised index finger was put up to confirm after checking with the book. It's on number 1. Albury looked to the bench, but there's no motion to take him out.
On that replay, though, it looked as if the foul should have been called on to Javis Miller reaching in the gap.
DeGorville in and out. Rock's got it. Here comes Luke Haupt from San Diego. One of many with San Diego ties on this Lobo team. Albury. Miller off the fake, trying to drive on Bird. Albury cuts Cup. Grain of the lane giveaway. Malik ahead, BJ Davis. Rejected! Oh, what a stop by Uriah Tenet!
What a play!
Miller kick, Albury reset, Miller! Got it!
Big time swing, your 5'11" guard sprints back in defensive transition. Meets him at the front of the rim, gets the block, leading to the 3.
Biggest margin the game has seen. Aztecs haven't scored in 3 minutes. Compton. Flick to Davis. He's had money shots in this rivalry. Fouled by Rock.
That block was so good, we got to take another look at it. 5'11" Uriah Tenet says not in the Thomas and Mack Center, eventually leading to a knockdown 3. We got a heck of a game here in Las Vegas.
Back in Vegas, Lobos by 5. A little drought for the Aztecs. What can they do? Evan Washburn with Brian Dutcher.
Coach scoreless for over 3 minutes. How do you want to attack offensively?
We're going to the basket. That last fast break, it's a classic. It's vertical, vertical. You throw your arms back, but you launch into a guy. It's always a hard call for the official. So I thought we should have been on the line to end that scoreless streak. We took it to the basket that time. We're getting to the foul line.
Yeah, what are you learning early in this game in terms of how the style in which it will be played?
We know New Mexico's a one-on-one team. They're just trying to drive into the paint, create shots for themselves and one another. We're doing a pretty good job staying in front of them.
Gosh, thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. And this has come with Tomislav Buljan spending extended time on the Pine. He is among the subs now for New Mexico.
He's gotten off to somewhat of a slow start, only 2 points, but he has been dominant in the 2 games between these 2 teams this season, averaging 22 points and 16 rebounds in those matchups.
And Brian Dutcher described the impact of Buljan in the Lobo win. He said he was a one-man show in the paint. This is what he did head-to-head against the Aztecs. Eric Olin thought the style of San Diego State, switching 1 through 5, lent itself to his body type and skills.
And a lot of times when a team switches 1 through 5, all of a sudden you as a big on the offensive side of the floor, you have an advantage in the mismatch of a block out, especially on the weak side.
He had sat for the last 4 minutes of game time. He springs the screen for Tenet. Now he rolls to the bucket. Overplay by Bird. Trying to take those select chances. Now lying in wait for help. Bully ball. And help, he knocks it free. Rips it away from Buljan. From his backside, numbers for the Aztecs. Float it up, put it down, no! Guac misses! And now short, Tenet clutching at his face as Guac got fouled. And it looks like Tenet's checking for blood on his lower lip.
He got clocked pretty good from Guac's elbow as he pivoted. Nothing malicious or deserving of another look at it, but did not look like it felt good.
That's what happens with a chin and spin with a man who's that tall against a man who's that short relatively on the floor. Guac hits, foul to Haupt his first. Jake Hall, who also sat for a bit, is in for Albury. Razor sharp elbows there.
That's when you are frustrated when you're only 5'11". It has its advantages in certain areas of the game because it allows you to get by the defender, hip to shoulder, and dribble attacks, but not when elbows are right around your chin.
Miller soars for the rebound. Here come the Lobos. To James Miller. Hall cuts. Tanet swings it. Hopped end line, loses out of bounds. Off the Aztecs, 14 to shoot. Now, Guath can be an excellent shot blocker. He led the Mountain West last year with nearly 70. And that came despite a knee injury in late February, costing him most of the rest of the campaign.
And he's dealt with that knee injury throughout the season. Missed 6 games in the middle of Mountain West played. A little bit due to the knee, a little bit due to a hip being affected by the knee, but he's back playing good basketball.
Aggressive take by Tanet. Saved by Bouillon. 4 to shoot, they have to hoist. Tanet puts it up. No. DeGorville off the weak side. Long to Guath.
Terrific delivery from DeGorville, putting it where only Guath can catch and finish.
Tanet made history, career high 9 assists, no giveaways when he got the nod in the quarters. Can he facilitate here? Bouillon. Poked out of bounds, Compton, 7 to shoot.
Another look at that lob in transition. The delivery over the top, not the cleanest of catches, but Guath able to finish.
How long until Hall gets another look from deep? There's Hall. Off the fake. 4 to shoot. He's stripped, taken away by Bird. DeGorville with Vegas ties. Playing in his hometown for 3. Got it! That's the first made triple in the Mountain West tournament. Bouillon granted the lane, nearly gave it away. Now he's fouled. Compton trying to knock it free. And Eric Olin is fired up. It's a 7-0 Aztec run.
Eric Olin, usually fairly mild-mannered on that perimeter, wanted a foul on the previous possession where Jake Hall had it stripped away. Another look at that. DeGorville knocked down 3. You know, when you look at this Aztec roster, we've talked about them being maybe the best scoring team in Aztec history. They're not necessarily great three-point shooters. They've got a number of guys that are good enough to allow them the freedom to take them, but where they do the most damage is in transition.
7 unanswered. Floater short. And a foul. Immediately the hands behind the head of Tay Simmons. Werner Latter, the proud title sponsor of the Naismith Coach of the Year Award. Join us over Final Four weekend as we highlight this year's winners right here on CBS Sports Network. That's a second foul on Tay Simmons. So Albury is 2 for the Lobos. Simmons with 2 for San Diego State. Jeremiah Oden will get his first minutes. So hopped. Off iron, tip ball. Out of bounds, Aztec ball. The winner is on to face Utah State for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. The 101st meeting of San Diego State, New Mexico. Compton, little short. Tip ball, Bird. Oh, nice no look. Rejected away. What help from Chol. Hall lobs. Chol loads. No, kick to Hall. Tanet. Fall away. Off the heel. DeGorville. Bird in rhythm. Compton saves. Gives it away to Hall. Shooting's gotten a little ugly on both sides. Who can break through? Hunt to the rim. Denied on the doorstep by Compton.
What a block from Compton.
Bird, transition triple.
Big play on one end. The Compton block leads to a transition three for Miles Bird, getting this Aztec crowd on their feet.
10-0 run. Bouillon darting down the lane, lefty.
Well, you know one thing is going to be true if it's an Aztec game. Defensively, they are going to bring it. Luke Hopp thought he had a clear lane. Farrell Compton says no, eventually landing in the hands of Miles Bird, knocking down the three.
One possession game and one free throw to come moments ago. Evan Washburn with Eric Olin.
Coach, in this style of game, what's going to create separation?
Well, we got to take care of the basketball. You know, if we keep turning it over and let them get out in transition, that's going to create separation the wrong way for us.
What's the coaching point on how to attack the rim against this defense?
Well, you got to be strong with the ball. You got to play through contact because they're allowing a ton of contact. So we got to be stronger with it and a little slower at the end of our drives.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And more giveaways than made buckets. They only average a little over 10.5 turnovers a game, 7 already.
And the last part of what he was making a comment about was slow down at the end of your drive. If you feel there's a lot of pressure, play off of 2 feet in the paint. When you do that, you are able to maybe turn nothing into something through pivots or shot fakes.
And one free throw miss. Foul before the break, though, a second on Farrell Compton. He and Miles Heide each have 2 for the Aztecs. Newman was an impact early, his first time in a bit. Bird off the kick. Walk-out time jump. Bouillon has it. He is a rebounding machine, top 10 in the country. Hot. No hesitation.
He doesn't shoot a lot of them. Only his 17th made 3 on the season, but he does all of the little things that impact winning. Tremendous defender, moves the ball, spaces it, cuts extremely well.
Turnover Aztecs. Chol funnel forward to net. Pop. Hit. Timeout, Brian Dutcher. A game of runs. 7 unanswered for the Lobos. CBS Sports Network's coverage of Conference Tourney Hoops continues tomorrow morning, 11 Eastern. Miami, Ohio squares off with Toledo in the Mack Women's Championship. In men's Mountain West action, the most intense rivalry on display in this semifinal. And it's fitting that this final collision as Mountain West foes has seen each team lead for nearly the same time, 5 minutes. We've had 4 ties. We've had 5 lead changes. It's a one-possession game.
I don't think we expected anything different.
Guaf off the fake. Bobbled. Hall on the floor. It's ripped away briefly. And Chol's got it. Consecutive giveaways for the Aztecs. Hopped. Bouillon. Rejected by Guaf.
That length of Guaf is so impactful.
Newman. Dixon Waters bumped by Hall. Stepping back for 3. Got it.
What a shot there. That was good defense from Hall. Cut the drive off. Stay in the space to contest, but Dixon Waters.
Hop cuts Cup. What a follow, Bouillon. Perfectly timed.
You have to block him out, whether it's your main assignment or not. He's 3rd in the country in offensive rebounding.
Heide with 2 fouls, ready to sub back in. Albury the same. These coaches are all in this semifinal. Dixon Waters. Guaf wanted it. Loads for 3. Big man can shoot. He's a 44% outside shooter. Hall, about as good as they come. Bouillon off the bounce. Bumped by Guaf, helped by Newman, taken away. The shot on Hopped. Short ball.
I thought Hall was going to shoot that
right there with you. Hard screen. Hopped. Bouillon's got Newman on the block. How are they not getting it to him?
The ball pressure doesn't allow them to see it and find him.
Toll three, weak side Davis. Newman with a calm presence. Tip ball by Bouillon. San Diego Kid, hop shovel. Tenet thought about the deep three. Tipped by Davis. Hall screens, double screen Bouillon. Hall from deep. Davis boxing out against Bouillon. To Guap. And one. And he went right at Hall, who has his second.
If you're going to foul in that situation, you cannot let the big get through contact, get the ball up on the rim. Magoon Guap, the strength, the length to finish it after Jake Hall tries to foul. When we come back, Guap will be at the line for a three-point play opportunity.
Who's in? Who's out? March Madness is about to begin. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Quiet coming up. AT&T at the half. Brent Stover and the crew will be up from their nappy. It's after 1 a.m. Roy Hibbert needs his beauty time. It's AT&T at the half. Rothstein. May will come soon enough. It's March.
What did you expect? With Rothstein on set, it's the best time of year for him. You're right, he doesn't sleep until May. Probably between the time the camera recorded that and it went live, he probably fired off about 50 tweets.
You saw that foul concern there. There are 5 men with 2, including a number of impactful regulars. Is there any player or side you think it impacts more?
Well, here's the thing. So far, we've had big moments for a lot of different guys, whether it's a block at the rim from Uriah Tenet, Sean Newman Jr. coming up with a couple steals, big finishes underneath from Bouillon. Everybody has stepped up to the challenge so far tonight.
Alberry and Hall each playing with 2. Lost the first to double digits. That free throw gives him 10 points. Alberry up top Tenet on the tight skip. Given a window. Take it, May. The mid-range game.
He is so shifty. His ability to stop, start, change directions makes him a difficult cover.
DeGorville wanted the ball. Fire taken away by Hall. Alberry saying throw it up. He fights, tips. Aztecs. DeGorville. Weaving with the dribble. Guap straight away. Little short. Davis had it. Hit.
I think that's Hall's third. Missed a block out. Ended up creating contact late.
And immediately a second sub to the table. They had Bouillon ready, but Hopt is going to come in as well. And Hall is done presumably until half.
Sometimes as a coach, you got to roll the dice. You got to trust your players. Look at the left-hand side of your screen. Hall is caught ball watching as the ball goes up, turns, finds B.J. Davis, but doesn't make contact.
Last of the one-and-ones, a top 5 free throw shooter in the Mountain West in B.J. Davis. Each team at 9, so double bonus rest of the way. And the best freshman shooter in America now buried on the bench. Davis, who had the tough 15-footer in the first matchup that proved the difference against the Lobos. Largest lead for the Aztecs. Alberry. Tenet. Weak side. Bouillon with outside position on block. Wrapping around off the iron. Oh, and a savvy move there by Davis. That's the third on Alberry. So 2 critical players for New Mexico have 3 fouls apiece in the first half.
Starting backcourt for the Lobos, each with 3, as you mentioned. Bouillon doing a tremendous job working on the offensive glass. Isn't able to convert. Had he made this, wouldn't have put Albury in a position to pick up his 3rd. Good job from B.J. Davis of not being in a hurry. Too many times you'll see players in a frenetic pace game like this. The second they get the rebound, they're in a hurry to get the ball off the floor. That time with his patience, making sure he had full responsibility with that basketball, was able to draw that foul.
2 critical players for New Mexico, Albury and Hall. Chol is back in. So Davis salts the lead. Here come the Lobos. Their depth tested some in this first. Tenet, who's been up to the task. Can Hopt emerge? Under-recruited out of high school, went D2. Now taking on the flagship team of his hometown. 3 seconds. Miller hoists. A foul! 3 free throws! Guath got him!
Brian Dutcher is beside himself. But if you're Magoon Guath in that situation, the shot clock's winding down, you've got a length advantage. Use it to your advantage. You don't need to crowd a shooter. That's a good call from the official.
So 3 shots for Tajavis Miller. The first is in and out. He was the 6th man of the year in the Summit at North Dakota State last year. And had his best game as a collegian in their conference tournament when he dropped 26 on South Dakota. Rock to the table to sub. And he'll come on for Bouillon.
With the foul issues that New Mexico has with Albury and Hall, Bouillon, luckily, if you're a Lobo fan, doesn't have any, but you want to make sure he doesn't pick up any, and that could become an integral point later on in this game.
So Miller gets a couple. Bird. Give to Watt. Behind the screen, Davis. Great pass underneath. High kiss make. What a dish.
What a dish. Terrific catch as well from DeGorville. Looks like a tight end going across the middle with that catch.
Davis knocked it free. Saved by Dixon Waters. Bird can field DeGorville, who'll slow it up. Minute and a half. Long two rejected by Chol. Tenet skips to Hopt. Ball screen Rock. Watt's got him. Hopt underneath. Knocked free. Rock for 3. Got it! 39% outside shooter. Drills it to make it a 1-possession game.
That's the freedom that he plays with that sometimes comes to hurt the Aztecs. Bird flying in from the weak side, leaves his feet as Miller is trying to corral that loose ball, lands on top of him, put Miller back to the free throw line.
That's a second on Bird. He is the 4th Aztec with 2. What's worse, to have 4 men with 2 or 2 critical players with 3?
That's a toss-up right there. And if you're New Mexico and you can weather the storm the way they have, and you cut it to 2, possibly a chance to go to 1 and get a stop here, you're feeling good about yourself going into the half, because those 2 have 3 fouls, but you also haven't shot it well from the perimeter with Tenet and Hall.
Leon remains on the bench. Free throw miss. Aztecs have it. A 1+ second differential. Are you holding?
I think you play for the last shot here. You can shoot it with 2 or 3 on the shot clock. If you shoot it too much earlier than that, it gives New Mexico a chance to get a rebound, race it down the floor. You're San Diego State. You're not too concerned about getting an offensive putback.
4 seconds. Davis. Tight make. And we'll get a timeout from New Mexico. The use it or lose it with the clock frozen at 2.9. We'll be back with the close of the first. Timeout, New Mexico, and a notable sub. Jake Hall with 3 fouls is going back in. What does Eric Olin draw up length of the floor?
Well, it very well could be for him because he's a spectacular three-point shooter. But the other thing it does, 2.9 seconds, you have time to get 1, maybe 2 dribbles at most up the floor. But because Hall is such a good shooter, gravity, the defense is going to pull to him. It might create an opportunity for another Lobo pushing it up the floor.
Do they have a Bryce Drew play? His Grand Canyon club was eliminated earlier this tournament, but could the shot, with not nearly that same consequence, come here and try to make it a 1-possession game of the break?
Well, I would expect either trying to get the ball on the run to Uriah Tenet with his speed, or you throw it long.
Albury is also back in with 3 fouls, so both Lobos with 3 have returned. Hop will trigger 2.9. Very light pressure. Aztecs playing at 2/3 court. Waff, the shot blocker in retreat. Ordered by his teammates to go a little deeper.
Brian Dutcher is telling Miles Bird, make sure you know where Hall's at all times. Almost have 2, him and Reese Dixon Waters covering Hall.
And Albury's going to sub out. Lobos are going to sub. It looks like Javis Miller back in. Hop triggers. Tenet puts it up. 4-point game at the break. This first half was intense.
It has been back and forth action. Exactly what we expected here between these 2 traditional powers in the Mountain West.
A lot of fouls. We go to Evan.
Sean, back and forth first half. How did you guys grab control here going into the break?
I think just by getting stops and rebounding. That's something we emphasize coming into this game. We know that's what will get us the win.
Their top 2 guards, Albury and Hall, both have 3 fouls. What can you do to take advantage of that?
Attack them on the offensive end, and then just be solid on defense. Don't give them nothing easy.
Sean, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. He had the 6 early. Aztecs have the lead at halftime, 37-33. After these messages, wake them up. It's AT&T at the half. Get them ready, Rockstein. It's Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. Oh, the energy is high here in Vegas. A 4-point affair at the break. John and Dan here courtside. Evan with us in just a little bit. What a wild first half.
It was a great first half. There were swings both ways for San Diego State, for New Mexico. But at the end of the game, at the end of the half, you get the sense that both teams understand what's at stake, and that's the chance to still be in the conversation for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, this is a de facto elimination game. Magoon Guaf, a great first answer.
Oh, he's such a versatile player. He can space the floor, knock it down from deep beyond the 3-point line. He can push it in transition. He's got the skill to finish.
The Lobos, they live with the 3.
They do. 5 of 13 in that first half, and they come in different ways. Drive and kick when you create a crowd, but Jake Hall, his only made 3 was off of his own creating of space. You'll need more of that if you're New Mexico.
Our AT&T game summary, a lot of the special categories went to the Aztecs, including bench and fast break.
Yeah, fast break point advantage, 14-2. New Mexico has to shore that up.
For the Lobos, Luke Hopp got the nod today. He caught up with Evan moments ago.
Luke, coming out of that locker room, what are the priorities now for the second half?
Yeah, we just need to win 6 feet and in, take care of the ball a little bit, and just continue to play physical.
Yeah, you mentioned the turnovers, 9 in that first half. What are the coaching points on how to avoid them?
Yeah, I mean, we had a few early, just kind of getting the feel for the game. And then they're raking at the ball really hard, so we got to be stronger with it.
Luke, thanks.
Thank you.
Son of a coach, his dad, one of the winningest in San Diego high school history. He played for him at St. Augustine. The Aztecs have the ball as we begin the second. A de facto elimination game for tournament aspirations. You lose, you're done. You win, you could be in. But any chance only preserved with a victory.
That's a big could this year. So many teams on the bubble seemingly don't want to go. They've lost in the conference tournament.
Called away, Newman. Weak side tip by Hall. Here's Bullion. Bubbles to Albury, playing with 3 fouls. So is Jake Hall. Hounded by Bird. On a switch, he's got Albury. Shoves him to the ground and banks it home.
A lot of contact was allowed on that time. Miles Bird not quite set, which is why he didn't get the call.
For the Aztecs, Miles Heide picked up 2 at the 13.5-minute mark. Sat the rest of the way. Tay Simmons had 2 by the 8.5-minute mark. Sat the rest of the way. So there could be rust among some of the regulars. Simmons on the spin, contested by Bullion, a foul. That'll be the first on New Mexico's bid. This is what the national scene is looking like. An update, SMU, according to our bracketology, now among the last 4 in. The winner of this game is projected to overtake Oklahoma for the #1 spot among first 4 out.
You can tell that each of these teams and players know exactly what is on the line. It's a shame that the Mountain West isn't going to have the opportunity, so it looks like as of now, to have multiple teams in the NCAA tournament unless one of these 2 can win the title against Utah State. This is a league that has traditionally sent multiple teams. Last year, 4 went. They've been undervalued by the committee many times in recent years.
I thought Brian Dutcher put it so well today. Mountain West hasn't been a 1-bid league since 2017, and that is only Mountain West tournament title.
And if you look at it, yes, Utah State clearly has been the best team from start to finish in the league, but teams 2 through 7, and you can even throw 8 in there, have been really good at times. They just haven't been as consistent, maybe as necessary. They don't have the opportunities that the power conference teams have to stack up quad 1 and quad 2 wins.
9 of the timer, Albury into Newman. Baker miss. And Brian Dutcher framed it as all the mid-major and what he called the Mountain West mid-major plus teams are essentially in one conference. So if the WCC sends 3, that's taking a bid from the Mountain West and from all of its near peers.
He did explain it extremely well.
Heide knocked away by Hall, but able to reset, put it home.
Hall got lucky, didn't get called for a foul there. Swiped down at it, but got more ball than hand.
Pop driving on Simmons. Albury's been particularly aggressive. It's something that Eric Olin said was critical, his rim pressure. Albury spaces to net. Finds Hop. 8 to shoot. Going right at Bird. Banker. Eric Olin clapping his hands, nodding his head, saying, yes, drive, drive.
Well, one way you can attack pressure is with pressure of your own. Too many times teams will play against San Diego State and they will wilt against that pressure.
Heide, sharp dribble. Dixon Waters has been somewhat quiet. He pops. Misses. Foul. Let's check in with Evan.
Yeah, guys, caught up with Eric Olin to talk about Hall and Albury and the 3 fouls and how to approach it in the second half. And he said, look, I'm going to let them play. Show your hands. Obviously, try to avoid fouls. He said, look, we're aggressive with guys with 2 and with 3 fouls. It's just a matter of them trying to stay out of the next 2.
They're welcoming that challenge, that last foul to Heide. That is his 3rd. And a foul off ball as Dixon Waters tried to cut.
Great usage of the screen there from Hall. It came off shoulder to hip on the screen from Bullion. Dixon Waters had no choice because he was behind to create contact, gets called for the foul.
His first, tough three miss. Tipped by Bird, ripped down by Simmons. Heide trying to space, he wants the ball. He's battling with Hupt.
This is where San Diego State at times gets stagnant offensively. They don't always have great spacing because they don't shoot it great.
The board by Bouillon, a double-double machine. Alberry right down the heart of the lane. Rejected by Bird on the body control. Leak ahead to Simmons. On the spin, into the net. Bully ball. He bulldozed him to the ground. Alberry somehow got that to go.
A stop and go to the nifty finish from Dayton Alberry.
He has been fearless. Now picking up Newman.
Heide shades. It's got to be the shades.
It is a cool look. Heide rainbow over the backboard, out of bounds.
That's not necessarily the shot that San Diego State wants. A trail three from Miles Heide. Both coaches going to talk it over, but San Diego State up to Tay Simmons with the finish. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota.
Catch more conference tournament action tomorrow on CBS Sports Network. A-10 semifinals underway. 1 Eastern, St. Louis Dayton, followed by VCU St. Joe's in the second semi. Then don't miss the championship game Sunday, 1 Eastern on CBS. Could a bid thief come from the A-10, from the Mack, from the SEC with a 15? Ole Miss is on to the semis.
Well, that Ole Miss, that 15 seed in the SEC, has started to get on a little bit of a run, creating a little bit of weariness from some fans of teams that are on the bubble. Chris Beard, a phenomenal coach, got Texas Tech a number of years ago to the Final Four. Ole Miss has struggled this year, but coach against him in a loser out, that is a difficult, tall task.
Oh, what a screen by Hall. Rock, short. Heidi's got it.
Rock got to the front of the rim, but a power outage wasn't able to elevate and finish.
A de facto elimination game for tournament aspirations. How monumental has this matchup been in Mountain West tournament history? 7 prior clashes. All 7 times the winner took the title. Bird, bobbled corner, settled by Dixon Waters, contested 3, no. Tenet's got it. Bird undercut the foul.
He creates so many problems that as an opponent you have to figure out on the fly because he plays with a reckless abandon. This time crashes from the short corner to the front of the rim. Chol late in the rotation, back for the block out. Just enough contact to warrant a foul.
Foul to Tenet, his second. Heide. Watt wants it. Sharp dribble, double comes, he felt it. Quick close by Tenet, 9 to shoot. Watt screen, on a switch, he's got Hop, 6 to shoot. Heide, 4 to shoot. Heide, off the iron, block follow. How long until Hall lets it rip from deep? Tenet.
They've been so focused on Hall. Even when they switch, they're late to leave him. They don't want to let him get going.
Tenet. Inside position, Heide out of bounds. It will be Lobo ball. Pharaoh Compton to sub to the Aztecs.
Good step through by Miles Heide. Not able to finish, but Magoon Guath on the other side helping out his partner.
Heide is out. Compton in. Rock off the spin. Verticality. Davis has it. Davis coast to coast draws the foul. The Aztec bench is feeling the fire. The Lobo bench despondent and quiet. Well, Davis to the line. Make sure to tune in to the 2026 Reese's College All-Star Game, April 3rd, live at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network.
One shot there, don't push.
San Diego State currently +4 in points at the line. In and out. Chol. Albury feeds Chol. Chol screen. Hall has a big. Chol pops and hits.
We touched on it earlier. He struggled as of late. Went to Coach Olin. Had him start to net here in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. Good to see that young man knock down a triple and impact the game.
Another rebound for Bouillon. Well on his way to another double-double. He averages a double-double on his season. Backdoor Hall off the up fake. Taken by Bird, foul.
Well, Hall finally had an opportunity for a scorer off the back cut, but the convergence of multiple defenders from the weak side took it all away quickly. Another look at that Chol three. They're so focused on Jake Hall in that pick and roll that he gets the pop, the knockdown three.
Foul to Compton. That is his third. Chol showing the shake. Albury off the fake. With the shades on. They'll go to the line. And the whistles are piling up here, Dan.
Well, you expect this to be a physical matchup. You expect the officials to keep it in line, which they've done a great job of, but as a player, you have to adjust.
Fourth foul on Compton. Let's go to Evan.
We're starting to see Tomislav Bouillon warm up on the boards. We had a fun conversation with him about where that arc comes from, and he credited his time as a soccer goalie growing up in Croatia. He played the position from the age 8 to 15. He was really into it, but he grew out of the position. Kind of 6'4" is the max, as he put it, but the anticipation you need to play that position has really translated to playing hoops and really owning the glass.
I love that. You need so many instincts as a keeper as well. Albury off. Yeah, he was a massive impact in the regular season meetings with the Aztecs. Last time 24 and 18. Far quieter tonight. Ryan Dutcher thought a foul as Davis got hit and lost the ball out of bounds.
It looked as if B.J. Davis just stumbled over his own feet there. Another look at it. Well, he tripped over Albury's left foot.
Albury showing the handle against Dixon Waters. Tied up and a foul. Dixon Waters felt jump.
Albury creates so much attention when he attacks the rim. He's a capable three-point shooter, but he's most comfortable putting the ball on the deck, putting the defense in rotation. If you're late, he can finish. If not, he sprays it out to shooters.
And he gets to the line a lot. Just outside of the top 10 of the Mountain West in free throw takes and makes.
It's such an advantage to have a guard that can get downhill. He's big enough, strong enough to either finish or handle that pressure and get himself to the free throw line.
Last foul to Dixon Waters, his second, team's fifth. We got a lot of time. Bonus could be a major factor in this game. Tip by Hall, 5 to shoot, Bird on high. Chol couldn't handle, out of bounds. Aztec ball. The energy in here is excellent. What a fitting finale to the greatest rivalry in the Mountain West.
Well, each of these two schools have tremendous home court advantages and fan bases that year in, year out travel to Las Vegas for this tournament. They've had a great response tonight. You can feel the energy in the Thomas and Mack.
The lower bowl is saturated. Oh, great pass to Bird.
Talk about his instincts defensively at that time. Great recognition of reading a slip opportunity on the baseline out of bounds.
Hall has one made bucket. When can he spring free? Albury squirts sideline, Lobo ball. And Hop's going to sub in.
Miles Bird sets the screen for Dixon Waters. A little miscommunication on defensive assignment allows the cut to the rim for the layup.
Albury gets a breather. Bouillon. Bouillon against Guap. Double comes. Rejected! DeGorville behind the Guap screen. Feed the screener. Right at the cup.
His length allowed him to reach back behind, corral that errant pass, and finish.
Hall was lurking at the logo. Tenet rattles it in. Can feel the Aztecs take a breath, walking it up. DJ Davis hit by Bouillon. That'll be his second.
Magoon Guap off the pass from Taj DeGorville. The Inspector Gadget arms go get it to the finish. Before Uriah Tenet, nifty little floater in the lane over the outstretched arms of the defense.
You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. 2-point tilt. San Diego State, New Mexico. The winner is on to face Utah State for the title. The man without fear, the daredevil, Dayton Albury.
They picked up 3 fouls in the first half, but it hasn't slowed him here in the second. Continuing to attack the paint off dribble penetration. Big, strong point guard who plays with a lot of pace is not worried about picking up that fourth because of how he consistently attacks shoulder to the hip of the defender. Right off the hip, you don't put yourself in a position to be called for an offensive foul as opposed to if you were to go straight into the chest. Terrific job of playing with physicality by Dayton Albury.
If the Lobos were to make it, he would take out his former squad. He was a big part of Utah State last year as we go to Evan.
Yeah, good sign from Magoon Guap that he can play this amount of minutes because the guy who replaced him in the starting lineup, Pace Simmons, the freshman, the bruiser inside, dealing with some cramping. So he spent most of his time on that bike trying to get some fluids in him. He's only played 9 minutes and 27 seconds in this game, guys.
Good eyes there, Evan. Thank you. Free throw make, foul to Tenet, his third.
And we touched on the injuries to Guap throughout the year, but San Diego State missing their starting point guard for most of the season. Elsie Harrington as well. Missed about 8 games or so, middle of the Mountain West Conference play. Came back for a couple. He's not able to play today due to a foot injury. He has done a tremendous job as a freshman of orchestrating their offense. Not much of a scorer, but does so many of the little things to calm them down.
He was the preseason Mountain West Freshman of the Year, a national top 75 recruit. Jake Hall is a far better shooter than what he has shown so far. 1 for 8, including 1 of 5 from deep.
Well, he's the guy who doesn't need a lot of space to get open and get hot in a hurry.
Tenet has been creative, just about artistic with his own game. Albury has had feel. Off the bounce, wraparound, Bouillon. Tenet, got Bird in the air. Follows, misses, Bouillon, rejected. Bird to Hall, to Tenet.
What a scramble. The hands from Hall to recover it.
And a foul on that inline drive, bumped by B.J. Davis. It'll be his first.
Tenet would like to have that second one back. Misses the baseline floater, which is a difficult shot, but can't quite get the second one to go down.
Newman and Heidi return for San Diego State. That last foul, by the way, the Aztecs sixth. So the Lobos, who will send Bouillon out, rock in. They'll have bonus rest of the way. Bird gets a breather as well.
And with how Albury's attacking the paint, we could be making a number of marches to the free throw line.
Hall, catch, shoot. Off target, Hop. Hall and Hoptail from San Diego. Albury. Lock got it.
He went up about 12 feet to get that rebound in traffic.
Newman almost 250 assists to set the Louisiana Tech and Conference USA record last year. That record for the Aztecs held by Tony Gwynn. The Goreville double. Opposite. Dixon Waters wanted it. 2 seconds. Wow.
What a shot from Reese Dixon Waters, but give JT Rock a lot of credit. Twice cut off dribble penetration. Unfortunately for Lobo fans, Reese Dixon Waters is able to create space as the shot clock winds down.
Lobos have gone cold, missing their last 5 from the field. And Rock hit and fouled. That'll go on Newman, his second.
You got to have guys who can create opportunities as shot clock winds down. Reese Dixon Waters puts on the brakes, reverse pivot to a fadeaway. Pure.
Well, the eagle eye of Evan Washburn saw Simmons on the bike. He is now in for Guam. Shoulders return for New Mexico. Lobos, 16 offensive rebounds. That's one off their single-game season high. They had 17 against Wyoming. And now Miles Bird getting attention from the athletic training staff. Sergio Ibarra checking him out. Hits heel, long board. Newman. Simmons has hardly played. Dixon Waters, their top scorer. Heidi screen. Newman falling away. Albury bumped by Heidi, who seems to be hurt, shaking that left hand. Albury wants it, transition triple. Got it!
The rare open look from 3 for New Mexico comes in transition.
He is tied for the game high with 14.
And Heidi's really favoring that right hand, his left. You mentioned it, previous possession, looks like something happened.
Good idea to Newman, but he couldn't handle out of bounds. Lobo ball. Well, he is clutching at that lower wrist, low part of the hand area. Sergio Ibarra's got a lot of work. Heidi goes right to his athletic trainer as Guath is back. Watch his hand.
As he's going for that rebound, looks as if the left hand is banged into Albury's midsection.
Point blank miss. Rock drop step. Too strong. New Mexico is tied at single game season high with a 17th offensive rebound. We have 8 minutes to go in regulation. Watt screen for Newman, all over top. Watt carves space. Dixon Waters, quick load. In and out. Watt tumbles out of bounds. Send it the other way. rivalry in the Mountain West. The final matchup. A tight physical affair. Stakes are about as high as they come. The final bragging rights in a bitter rivalry, and ultimately whoever loses almost assuredly eliminated from NCAA tournament possibility. Let's go to Evan.
Yeah, about a minute ago, guys, we saw starting forward Miles Heide for San Diego State collide, and his left wrist, as you can see here, gets bent in a really awkward way with Albury. He immediately grabbed it, came to the sideline, as you can see with the athletic training staff and team doctors. He is now in the back having it x-rayed in significant pain. Once we get any further information, we'll let you know.
Appreciate that, and he is left-handed, by the way. Lobo starting to heat up a bit from three. That could easily be a difference. San Diego State has struggled from outside this tournament. Hot. Against Bird, the defensive player of the year, bucket.
Because Jake Hall sets that screen, they're so worried about him getting open. Magoon-Guath denies the return pass, gives Hop enough time to back down to the post position, ultimately finishing.
Tied. Aztecs have led for 25 minutes. To Gorville. To Davis. Got Chol in the air, went right at Rock. Whistle.
Such patience from Luke Hopt on this pick and roll. Doesn't have anything. Gets to a 2-foot stop, patiently pivots to create an opening.
Foul to Rock, his second, team sixth. That will be bonus now rest of the way, both teams. Davis has done his damage at the line. 8 of his now 10 points. He's the second Aztec in double figures. Misses. Chol. Simmons tumbled. Can they push for numbers? Hall comes to the ball. Screens. Lobos haven't led since it was 25-24 at the 5.5-minute mark in the first. Albury off the fake. New Mexico takes the lead.
But the fact that he's hit 2 threes tonight makes you have to close out, giving the opportunity for a straight line drive from Albury.
Walk up high. No. Rock got it. Simmons tumbles, foul. And it's bonus rest of the way, both teams.
You love to see a player in March constantly be in attack mode. You have to play with freedom and confidence. Dayton Albury has done exactly that tonight.
He's got 16 to lead the game. He's got a poker face with those shades on.
Yes, he does.
So Rock 65% at the line. 1-1. 8 on San Diego State. Misses the front end, Bird. Bird's been quiet for a bit. He was their champion when they bested the Lobos in Viejas. Simmons on the spin, off the up fade, rolls it in.
What a finish there from the freshman. He has been a terrific addition. It took him a little bit of time to get comfortable, but during Mountain West play, he has not looked like a freshman.
Overplay by Bird, seeking a steal. Albury, the hot hand, coughs it up. Davis starts, nearly turns it over. Bird load! Long board Davis. Chol fell down. Everything on the line.
They have gotten away with a travel there on the catch. Magoon-Guath.
Davis behind the back. 5 to shoot. DeGorville low 2. True.
Some people say the mid-range is gone, but that's a perfect example of if you lift fake at the 3, get the defense out of position, 1-2 dribble pull-up is still a great shot.
Timeout, New Mexico.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Werner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness. Every step matters. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Back in Las Vegas, a game of grand consequence. The most impactful semifinal matchup in the series history between these longtime league powers. Miles Heide emerged from the locker room, but with that heavy wrap, he is done for the day. So an impactful big sidelined for San Diego State. Remember the first matchup, New Mexico rallied from down 15, chose to foul Heide a minute to go. A horrendous free throw shooter. He hit them both. Eric Olin told us today he would do it again. It was the right play. I agree with him.
I would too. So 50% free throw shooter on the year. Scoring isn't his strength. He does all of the little things, though, that really impact his attack.
The winner is out of a championship and stays alive for the NCAA tournament. The possession alive for the Lobos. 3 to shoot. Fire! Bouillon rejected. Foul by Plot with 1.4.
The awareness of Hop to know to look up at the shot clock as it's winding down before finding Bouillon underneath.
This game is awesome.
Wow, that looked like a block, but a bang-bang play. Maybe a little bit across the elbow up top. He had a lot of ball, but puts Bouillon at the line.
In and out. He's missed 3 of his 4. He's got 7 points, 8 boards tonight, well below his dominance in the first 2 matchups.
And credit Magoon Gloth and Farrell Compton for a lot of that. They have done a great job of limiting his opportunities on the low block.
Here come the Aztecs. 9 of 20 at the line tonight. Loose ball. Tenet against Bird. Foul. And Bird cupped his chin. He thought he got the worst of the contact. He's got his 3rd foul.
Taste of his own medicine. Bird in transition typically does the same thing. Jumps in to create contact for a foul opportunity, but the extra effort from Tenet. That's a foul on Bird. He didn't like the fact that he got the worst of that contact. Tenet will be at the line, where on the season is nearly an 85% free throw shooter.
You know, Eric Olin told us today that Tenet's playmaking was starting to show up more, that the game was slowing down. He was a dynamic scorer at Prescott High School in Arizona, dropped almost 2,700 career points.
And that's an adjustment for all guys going from high school to college, especially if you're a scorer, but your position is point guard. Can you balance your scoring with the ability to organize a team and play make?
A lot of points left at the line for the 2 teams. DeGorville to Bird with pops in the stands. His dad Calvin, who played for Steve Lapis at Villanova, opposite block. Got it! What a skip, what a shot. Alberry's been the answer for the Lobos. Bouillon carving space.
Bird not letting Hall get a look at all.
Hot, high kiss miss, weak side tip, no, tie up. Jump ball, 6 to shoot, it stays that way. We have 3.5 to go. We have a tight game, everything on the line. The some bragging rights, and a chance to dance. Stay with us. One juice here in Vegas. San Diego State by 4, under 4. Time now for Every Step Matters, brought to you by Werner Ladder. Magoon Guap going on.
He's put together a tremendous game. 17 points, 6 of 9 from the field. He's done it in different ways, off pick and rolls, off transition, off the offensive glass. But none have been bigger than the play before we went to timeout. Stayed patient, spaced in the corner, catch and shoot, knock down 3.
He's had as many as 20 in a game this year. That was a double overtime game against Troy. He's one off his high for a non-overtime before.
But just see the patience. Stays in that corner. Miles Bird sees it, skips it, block, gets the 3.
6 seconds on the shot clock. Hall is open, whistle. You can see DeBoerville pleading his case. He'll get a second. Double bonus. So clock stopped and a chance to shoot 2 for today.
You touched on it earlier. Both these teams are fairly good free throw shooters, but they've struggled tonight at the line. New Mexico now 12 of 23. San Diego State 13 of 21.
Tannette's been the best. He's the second Lobo in double figures. That's his first miss tonight in 6 tries. A 1-possession game. A can't lose. You lose, you're done. You win, you're out of the title game. You have a shot as an at-large, and you also have a shot to do it outright. Andrew Cameron, Steve Lapis will have that call, but then to Washburn tomorrow. Dixon Water is short. Gets his own miss. Drop step strip. Hopped with help. Alberry in the corner. Tannette lets it fly. No. Tipped by Bird. Foul.
Bouillon just puts so much pressure on you on the offensive glass. He's got 5, would have been his 6th, but he carved out enough space on the weak side as that 3 went up.
Foul to Guap, his 3rd. Well, Bouillon was a force of nature in the first 2 matchups in the regular year. What's been different tonight?
Well, I think a big part of it is the fact that Magoon Guap has been able to play extended minutes. His length creates problems for almost every single big in this league. San Diego State switches 1 through 5 on most possessions. And when he's had a smaller player on, he has not been able to take advantage.
He's left some points at the line as well. He's missed 5 of 7. You can see the frustration on his face. Just shook his head side to side and let out a sigh. It's only a 2-point game. Dixon Waters. 7 to shoot. Davis stepping back. Squirts corner. Saved by Simmons. Playground out of bounds. Keep it that way.
Luke Hawk wants New Mexico to challenge.
Eric
He didn't touch it.
Looking up at the big board.
He may be right. It looked as if it went off Simmons' foot.
Timeout. Eric Holden is hopping onto the floor, twirling his index finger. He went all the way out to midcourt, north of the Mountain West logo.
Wow, it looks as if it went off Simmons' foot. Take a closer look at it. Simmons tries to save it. Hits his own foot, and I don't think it grazes Luke Hawk.
Ball on the floor was Aztec ball, and you could see it change direction. You're right, Dan.
The ball on the floor is San Diego State basketball. The play has been challenged by New Mexico.
Can they win this challenge and have a chance to tie or take the lead with a little over 2 minutes to go in regulation?
You see it clearly change directions, but does it touch Luke Hawk? Question is, does his hair count? Can we slow it down enough?
I think it's the hair.
Yes. That would be unbelievable if the hair of Luke Hawk keeps this San Diego State ball.
turn a phrase often in racing, right? By a hair, who has possession here?
Well, we've got a great officiating crew led by Nate Harris. I'm pretty sure they'll get this right. I don't think it hits Luke Hopt. I think New Mexico's going to win this challenge.
It looked like it did make contact there with the hair.
But to overturn it, it has to be definitive.
That's where using or not using product could help determine this game.
Very well could. And remember, if New Mexico wins this challenge, they keep the timeout, and it would be their basketball.
Got his foot. That changed the angle, but it looked like the hair shifts.
But does his hair shift because he's moving back? Man, that is tough. I'm glad I'm not an official having to make this determination.
Can you imagine when he came up with the concept of replay, seeing this as the situation?
I really think it's going to be New Mexico basketball.
There's not enough to overturn. Or you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be New Mexico basketball. I'm glad I'm not one of those three out there having to make the decision with potentially the season on the balance for both of these teams, who I feel honestly deserve to be in the NCAA tournament. I think they're good enough. I think both teams, in particular San Diego State, has dealt with a number of injuries over the course of the year that hasn't allowed them to play to their expectations.
It looks like we have a ruling. New Mexico's huddle.
After reviewing the play, the call on the floor has been overturned. It will be New Mexico basketball with 30 seconds on the shot clock in the backcourt on the sideline. New Mexico will retain their timeout and their opportunity to challenge.
You called it, Dan, so they still have the challenge. Now they have the ball, a chance to tie or lead. These coaches played regulars with foul concern in the first. The message from Eric Golden to his team was get more aggressive, go right at this defense. That challenge could decide it. Albury. Tenet kicks. Hop to Albury. Guap gets by him. Aztec ball.
If they end up losing, that's going to be a play that they look back as a missed opportunity. It gets to the front of the rim, and he can't quite finish.
New Mexico hasn't hit a field goal in almost 5 minutes. Davis taking Bouillon off the bounce. The dump down low, reversed by Simmons.
They switch Bouillon onto B.J. Davis. Davis' eyes lights up.
Hop, Simmons fell. Hall off the fake. Hop fires. Flat and short Simmons.
All passed up, a good look at the top of the key. Don't think you're in position yet where you have to play the foul game, but you got to get a stop.
Tenet, though, getting aggressive here on Davis. You still have the one-and-one, 6 fouls on the Lobos, 13. Guap off the fake for 3. In and out, Bouillon out of bounds. San Diego State ball. The rebound master. They could not grab it and hold on. Timeout, San Diego State. We'll keep it here. What's going on in these two huddles with 1:02 to go?
Well, you're San Diego State. You've got baseline out of bounds coming back with 20 on the shot clock. Brian Dutcher going to talk things over with his crew.
Coming up next, join our college basketball experts in the studio. They talk all things conference tournaments, highlights and top plays and unmatched insights. Bracket Week continues here on CBS Sports Network. An enormous matchup in the Mountain West. The winner will take on Utah State on CBS tomorrow. The regular season champion Aggies overwhelmed Nevada. This one has been tight. 62-58. Each team 2 timeouts. Each has a challenge. Double bonus in the favor of New Mexico, which can give fouls for the maximum number of 1-on-1 situations. It is Aztec basketball. The winner in the previous matchups in the conference tournament has won it all every time. 4 of those matchups came in the championship. This about as impactful a semifinal collision as they've ever had. The loser is done for the NCAA tournament. The winner, we project to be the first of the last 4 out and have a shot tomorrow to play its way in. Taken by Hawk, trying to play ground. It's Lobo ball. A giant steal by Hawk.
What anticipation from Luke Hawk. That's when you know a player has been locked in on the scouting report as far as tendencies on baseline out of bounds.
Albury on the drive, tumbles, foul, went right at Davis. And Albury slow to get up. The Lobos haven't hit a field goal in now almost 6 minutes. They have missed 12 of their last 15 from the floor.
Well, you saw an opening attack away from that pick and roll, creates the contact from Davis, gets to the line. San Diego State doesn't like it, but B.J. Davis not in front.
They have missed half their free throws as a team tonight. Albury leads the way, a team-high 16 points. Foul to Davis, his second free throw of made. San Diego State has won 38 consecutive games when leading with 5 minutes to go.
Unbelievable number when you talk about the ability to close out games. Give a lot of credit to Brian Dutcher and his staff for that.
Hit them both. New Mexico has not led since it was 54-53 at the 6:42 mark.
Well, you're New Mexico. Be solid, but make sure you finish with a rebound. Well, they switched up top. Able to switch back.
Bird. Dixon Waters, their top scorer. Kick corner, Davis. Flat miss, rebound Hawks. 1 second differential. Here come the Lobos down 2. Albury down the lane. Bucket! Tie game!
I like the fact that Aaron Owen didn't call a timeout in that situation. Doesn't look like Brian Dutcher is either.
The best Aztec offense in the Mountain West era. Timer off. It's all on the line. Davis, a hero once already against New Mexico. Puts it up and in! 2 seconds! Timeout!
B.J. Davis, isolation on the wing, mano-y-mano, finds a crease, creative finish, puts the Aztecs up by 2.
In the first matchup this year, 10 seconds to go, he had the 15-footer to snap a late tie, gave the Aztecs the lead for good. Albury forged the deadlock that the Lobos just had. They now have 2 seconds to engineer a new tie or win it.
And don't forget, New Mexico had a similar situation at the end of the first half, about 3 seconds left. Tenet got 2 dribbles up the floor, got a runner from just past half court, so New Mexico can advance the ball at least to where they've got a good look at it.
Mountain West powers colliding for a final time in the Mountain West tournament. The 101st matchup of New Mexico and San Diego State. Hall, the best shooter. He's had a rough night, and after seeing the setup, Brian Dutcher wants to use his timeout and diagnose defense. The mastermind of the best defense in the Mountain West perennially for a long time. The last time they met, a tight one. That was the first matchup in San Diego State. They fouled Heidi with a minute to go. He hit them both. And this was the Davis proved to be winner. That put him ahead. And now in the tournament.
That's an advantage that they have, knowing that B.J. Davis has the ability to create and make big plays down the stretch of games. I would expect San Diego State, as they do a lot of these situations, to switch everything. You've got enough time for at least one dribble advance up the court, but you can't lose sight of Hall. He struggled tonight, but he's hit big shots throughout the year.
If a foul were to come, it's double bonus. 2-point game. Inbound. Bouillon given away! And the Aztecs out of bounds. .6. Guath had the ball. The smoke shot up off of each basket, and he was out of bounds. .6 on the clock.
I'm sure the officials are going to go take another look to make sure they get the clock right. Hop just overthrows.
Oh, they're going to have to add time, I think. I think they're going to have to go to a second.
I would agree with you, but Hop overthrows Bouillon. Had
the play is under review for a potential timing error.
The game would have expired. Now I think they're going to put more time on the clock. A big break for New Mexico, because they'll be able to inbound it at about the 28-foot mark. You will have a lot more options in this situation than you did previously advancing at full court.
Just off the hash, Guath out of bounds. So how much time? .6 is on there currently.
Doesn't look like they're going to add anything, but Hall has struggled tonight, but I would expect the ball to be in his hands with an opportunity to either tie or win in the semifinals.
New Mexico calls timeout. Jake Hall had the best scoring season by a freshman in the history of the Mountain West. He has had an uncharacteristically off night. He's missed 8 of 9 from the field. His one make from 3 in 6 tries, but he is one of the best shooters in the country, and he's got a window to win it.
And I would expect, as I said, something to get Hall an opportunity to look, but you got to think that San Diego State has done a tremendous job on him. He's going to be the focus. You can't lose sight of a potential slip opportunity to the rim, particularly with Bouillon.
This is a tightrope walk with no net. The winner is on to face Utah State. The loser will be on the outside looking in Selection Sunday. There's no guarantee for the victor, but you stay alive and you got a shot. Lose, you're done.
Exactly what these two fan bases were expecting.
New Mexico out of the Eric Golden timeout. 0.6 seconds. Bouillon has had an uncharacteristically modest night. Only 3 field goal makes. He's shy of a double-double with 8 and 10. 3 men rear of the line. You like this?
I would expect crisscrossing action, trying to make San Diego State make a mistake in a possible switch situation. But don't forget about Bouillon.
Hop triggers. 0.6. Fronted by Guath. It's Hall to heave! Off! And no foul. That's your ball game. In the final matchup as Mountain West compatriots, San Diego State bests New Mexico in a 1-possession game.
Just as you would have expected, this game came down to the final few possessions. And then B.J. Davis, just as he did in their last matchup with a big-time shot, he does the same tonight. An ISO on the wing, a bucket with 2.9 left. Hall got a decent look at it for 0.6 seconds left, but not able to get it to drop.
An incredibly tight game. What a fitting conclusion to the best rivalry in the Mountain West. These powers have combined for championships by the boatload. And at San Diego State, a chance to hoist the hardware. They'll take on Utah State in the title game tomorrow. Let's go to Evan with the man who had the biggest bucket.
BJ, congratulations. Take us through your mindset, what you're thinking after Albury ties this thing up.
Incredible shot. I knew we had about 20 seconds, so just kind of wanted to take the last shot.
What do you think when coach doesn't call a timeout and puts it in your hands?
Oh, it's goal time. It's time to make something happen.
What is it about this matchup with New Mexico that brings the best out of you in these late moments?
I think they're just a really good team, and we play good, they play good, so it always comes down to the crunch time.
You're entirely too calm and cool right now after just hitting the game winner to send your team to a championship. Why?
Our coach says marches for players, and a lot of our players stepped up and made huge plays, rebounded the ball, and I got all my faith in my guys, so they helped me stay cool and calm.
How aware were you and the players on this team of the stakes attached to this game? If you don't win, your NCAA tournament hopes are gone.
Yeah, and we kind of, kept that in the back of our mind. Try to hit the glass a little harder, play a little better defense. It was getting downhill because, they got good guards and stuff, but we was trying to do our best because we know that's at stake.
What do you got left for Utah State tomorrow? Actually, in a few hours.
A few hours, yeah. Just got to go home, get some sleep, and bring the same intensity tomorrow. Try to get it done.
Congrats, BJ.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that. So the stage is set. While there have been a number of upsets in conference tournaments across the country, one will meet two tomorrow for the title.
As you expected, San Diego State has been here nearly year in and year out. Utah State handled their side of the bracket. San Diego State, an unbelievable finish to a well-played game tonight, sets up a big-time opportunity for the Aztecs tomorrow to get back to the NCAA tournament.
Brian Dutcher's been the head coach at San Diego State for 9 seasons, at all but one. He's taken the Aztecs to the championship. The final, 64-62, San Diego State. For Dan Dickow, Evan Washburn, and our entire crew, I'm John Sadak. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now to New York, inside college basketball, Aztecs 64, Lobos 62.